everyone, and welcome to the newest episode of Falling Upwards. Listen, I'm just going to kick off with it. We have a guest on today. She's not on right now because, we're working with her connection. But whilst we wait to see how her connection does, I'm going to say hello to my lovely co-host, Maddie Armstrong, and not ask Maddie how she's doing today.
Hi! We've got the sun problem again. Listen, when I was planning my setup, I didn't account for the sun shining because I don't need to. We're in England. It doesn't usually do that. So, yeah.
And as you can see, we have a guest on the lawn today. I mean, is she a guest at this point? She's here all the time. We love her. You love her. It's Sonal Lad, everyone. How you doing, Sonal?
I'm doing good. Can you say that I'm part of the furniture? I love that.
Do you want to be part of the furniture? We have a lawn. Yeah. Do you want to be like a plant on the lawn?
Can I be a gnome?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
I want to be a gnome.
If we get like a physical set, we'll obviously have the lawn rug and we'll get a gnome like to represent you.
Now, we're recording this before season 4 kicks off, so Sonal actually doesn't know this. But for the episodes where we either have a close friend of the pod or it's just the two of us, we do spend a little bit more time on the lawn. We allow our Queen Judge Arbiter to genuinely take in the various failures from the week. And of course, because you are a friend, Sonal, you can have a title. Maddie is Queen Judge Arbiter of the lawn. What do you want to be? Do you want to be Duke Gnome? Gnome Princess? Or just the Gnome? You want to be Gnome Princess?
Yes, please. Oh, I'd love that. That's the best thing ever.
Yeah. Okay. Well, for anybody who's coming to this for the first time, as you know, me, your humble jester, will be bringing a variety of different things that have happened in the week to the lawn. And our Queen Arbiter today, assisted by the Gnome Princess, will pass judgment on where it falls on the spectrum. If it is a total failure, here is what we get.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Terrible. It's just terrible. And if it's just mid, because, sometimes things aren't good or bad. They just are. We get this.
I survived, but we're dead!
And if you adjudicate that it is a celebration, it's fantastic. It's not a failure at all. This is the party we arrive to. That perks up your Wednesday, doesn't it, really? To begin, I will be bringing the first item onto the lawn, and it's about the new Harry Potter TV show. Now, you don't need to know anything really much about Harry Potter to understand this, but I was keen to bring this to the lawn because I do think our Queen Judge Arbiter, accompanied by Gnome Princess today, will have something to say about this. Now, of course, with the new TV show on the horizon, they have recast pretty much all the characters. Not pretty much all the characters, all the characters. And one of the biggest ones has been the casting of Paapa Essiedu, who is a Ghanaian English actor, as Severus Snape. That's raised a lot of eyebrows by various people who might not all be nice people that you'd want to know at a dinner party. And what has just come out is that they have had to up security on the HBO show because of the death threats that he has been receiving. He said to The Times, "I've been told, quit or I'll murder you." The network CEO, Casey Bloys, has acknowledged the precautions taken to protect the stars of the upcoming series. Queen Judge, I submit myself for your opinion.
Oh, that is an absolute failure. Absolute flop on the, threatening people part. That's awful. And this is just because he's not like a slimy black-haired... What's his name? What's the name of the actor?
Oh, Alan
Rickman.
Yeah, Alan Rickman. Just because of that is absolutely awful.
What are you thinking, Harry Potter fan?
I was going to say, because we kind of discussed this way back when it actually first got announced. And I know there was a lot of issues. And the issues, there is a split camp, right? Because there was half the people who were like, this is not right. He's not like Snape, blah, blah, blah. And then there was another half going, well, this is kind of a bit weird because you've got the guy who's kind of creepy and all that being played by a person of colour. Now, it's an interesting thing, right? Because They had it with, I've not watched it, The Cursed Child, where remember Hermione they cast it as a young ethnic girl, right? And this is the problem. There's always going to be issues of casting. Like we've seen it. It's like time and time again of like, if you have we saw it with The Little Mermaid. I didn't watch it not for any ethnic reason, because I don't like Disney remakes. I don't like live action. I don't think
Fair.
that's
Very fair.
But the problem comes that it's like you can't win in any way, right? Because Harry Potter, as we can all admit, J.K. Rowling is a questionable person, and when she was writing, she wrote for such a, how do I say, stereotypical way. Anyway, everyone knows that the ethnic people in that book were so stereotypically written in every way. And so now you're getting a man of color to play Snape. And to be fair, onus something, he could have been cast as anyone. And if it wasn't Kingsley Shacklebot, then people would have had issues. Do you know what I mean? Because that is the representation. It's similarly to, for example, if they cast an Indian or an East Asian as Hermione, or anyone but the Patil twins or Cho Chang. And so then it's like, it's a bigger conversation of like, well, obviously the fault lies with HBO, but like, where is the fault lying of like, it's the project itself? Is it the fans? Because obviously we know any fans of any franchise are awful. And to be fair, like anyone who wasn't perfectly fitting Alan Rickman was going to get hate, but as a person of color. So it's like, but then you've got to ask the question, and I've also spoken about this with Emmy, with like, should you just stick to it and then just create roles for people of color? Do you know what I mean? Rather than trying to, because you know that if you try and give standard, like if people who aren't linked to that, because I think there was even issues with Snow White casting, and even though the problem comes is when you stray from what people expect, the person is always going to get hate.
Or in this case, quit or I'll murder you. Like what?
Yeah.
Like it's easy to say, oh, just like suck it up. Oh, you're a celebrity, you should. But no, like you shouldn't be subjected to that.
So who has ultimately failed here? Lawn judges? Lawn court?
I think Sonal brings up a good point where the material itself is laced with problems, with it, the characters being written very stereotypically. So that is like maybe a big root problem. But I also think just really simply and really easily, anyone that's being that hateful online or just hateful in general is wrong. That's an ultimate failure when you're being like that for someone that's just taken on a
doing
role,
their job.
Doing it absolutely fine. I mean, I presume. I don't know. I mean, I assume he's a good actor. That is an ultimate failure, I would say, on both.
So failures on multiple levels.
Yeah,
but I think generally, if you look wider at everything in the world, fans and people tend to, when they have problems, they tend to dismiss their part in it. And as much as we can blame the higher ups, and that is awful, as like we've all mentioned, it's the people sending the death threats. Like actually, the people who did the hiring, they were like, we're not going to look at color, we're going to look at your talent, which is great. And actually, theoretically, in the grand scheme of things, Snape's color is not much. For example, it's not, for example, like they're miscasting Mulan. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Snape's thing is his character. It's not the color of his skin. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's the fans who are directing. Like, in an ideal world, if fans didn't care about color, he could happily just play this role.
It's that thing where it's not that everyone will be seeing it that way, but it's the ones that are hateful that are the loudest. So they're just overtaking the narrative, and that must be really hard.
Well, we've got our first failure of the day.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Just be nice, people. It's so easy to not send a death threat.
It doesn't cost a lot to be a nice person.
From one franchise to another, I've brought this because I genuinely don't know how I feel about this. So, as some of you may have seen, Scrubs, the comedy TV series set in a hospital that was popular a while ago. I want to say ages ago, but I don't. My sense of
feels like
time is
ages
just
ago.
terrible. Like it feels like 20 years ago, which it probably wasn't. Anyway, the very popular hit comedy set in a hospital has just been rebooted. It's come back. Now, I'll say, as someone who loved the original, I love the return of it. I think it's great. It's really funny. Some of the old characters are back. There are a whole slew of new, diverse characters. My question is, though, is it a failure because the networks have had to reboot this in order to have a successful medical hospital comedy drama show thing? Or is it actually that we should take the win that at least there's something fun that people are liking right now?
Oh, this is a thing, because it's like, why can't you let things just go to rest peacefully if you've concluded the story? Why are you like, let it go, keep going with the defibrillator, like just forcing it back to life beyond its sort of best era, you know? So I actually feel quite strongly about this. You know, as a appreciator of art, I think things should have their due course, and then you should leave it when it's perfect and you've got all that. Don't do Untamed 2, he dies again and comes back to life again, you know, like don't try and
You've never watched an Indian drama. That's basically the premise of it. They'll go
really
5 years later and they'll start the show again.
So are you saying fail? Queen Judge is saying fail. What's Gnome Princess saying?
Reboots, I'm like a bit like Maddie, where I'm like, they should be best. But I also think it's a wider issue of like, why are we not able to create new things that are interesting? Why do we always have to, like, for example, this Harry Potter reboot, because I'm going to link back to the past. Why do we have to keep creating stuff that's already happened? Similarly with, and I mentioned the Disney reboots, they have to make these live action like, it's actually like some reboots great, because obviously Waterloo Road, they get rebooted every 3 years, and actually like that kind of works.
I've not watched the rebooted.
I haven't. My sister did, and she enjoyed it. But it raises the question: why can people just not create anything else? It's like same with songs. Call me bitter, but you know when you hear everyone sampling, well, what's wrong with creating something new? And it's the same with reboots. It's like, why do you have to keep rehashing? Like sometimes it works, but it's just like, it's sort of sad because you're like, well, have you not got any more ideas?
Yeah.
This is why.
I mean, that's what I was thinking, because I was like, to be honest, would I have watched it if it was just, it's a new medical comedy? No, I am watching it because they called it Scrubs and it's got those
they know you will.
characters.
They know because you've got that connection.
Nostalgia, innit?
But then how did it get so popular to start with? Because the first time there was no reboot and people got into it. That's like, if you have interesting storylines, interesting characters, then you'll get people into it. Do you know what I mean? Because Scrubs,
that's way more powerful.
Yeah.
What is the verdict, therefore, Lawn Court of today?
Well, I'm saying absolute fail. If Sonal says something different, we'll like average it out.
I'm going to say fail because I'm not a fan of reboots. I just think they're lazy.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
Steve Carell's having a moment today.
Also, Sonal, you mentioned Waterloo Road, which I was surprised because I've never met like other people that have watched that, but I watched it growing up as a teen, and I haven't watched the like latest reboot because I'm not interested. But I heard that one of the oldest characters of the show that they brought back, Chloe, they just killed her off like right after bringing her back. Did you not see that?
No, I mean, like I said, I've not watched it. I've seen like short clips, and my sister was like, I watched it, and then she made me watch like one or two.
So they brought back Chloe and Dante, which is like one of the oldest couples on the show. Yeah, right? And then like maybe an episode in or something, she gets hit by a car and then she has I think like a brain bleed or something, and it's really heart-wrenching and horrible, and then Dante has to deal with that. Like I just saw clips on YouTube and I'm like, why would you bring back this beloved character just to kill her off?
Waterloo Road are the kings and queens of traumatic deaths. Like, I swear. Like, every time, because I was bearing in mind, like as Maddie said, we were watching this when we were younger, and then it's just like, was it Scout dying? Like,
Yeah.
wasn't
Oh, yeah, I
like
think
hers? I think it was
so.
like like she had like an aneurysm or something, and it's just like, and I was like, this is a lot for a school drama. Like, I get it's for adults, but
Yeah.
still, I'm watching this as like a teenager, and I'm like terrified now.
It did make school seem very calm compared. Did you find that? Like, wow, nothing happens at my school.
My school's a bit boring. I don't have any kids having affairs with teachers and running off and things like that.
Good.
Good, but at the time I was like, no, but it's right. This is a weird thing. But it's like, for example, like I was about 9 or something, 8 or 9 when the first High School Musical came out. In my head, that was what high school was like. I was like, they're all singing, it's all great. It wasn't like that.
No.
Gonna get a cute boyfriend, you know.
Who sings and plays basketball.
No,
I know, like whole package, right?
The biggest issue I had was lockers. So at our school, not everyone got a locker, and you had to pay for a locker. Now I did, because obviously I was not.
You had to pay for a locker?
They were very limited as well, so you had to do it very quickly. So I did it because obviously, like, I was like, I'm not paying for flipping. I'm not carrying on my PK. And then when my sister came, then we like shared a locker. But like, you know, like High School Musical, and they decorated them all, and they put like mirrors, and then there's stuff like also like Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. I thought, I had all these ideas, and then I was like, well, that's a reality check. I used to be like a museum. Like I used to have friends like having to put their bids in like at the start, like, can I put my PK in yours? And I'd be like, sorry for.
And if we'd have PE at the start of the day and it was swimming, we'd have to carry around the like soggy bag to French or something, and to lunch. It was annoying.
Emmy's face.
Both of you just had your head in your hands at one point.
Did you have 3 lockers?
Yeah.
Is that the South? Is that a Southern thing?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe it's northern peasants don't get lockers.
No, because we had like a locker and a gym room, so you left your gym things in the gym room and a locker in the. I feel like, okay, something I've noticed in life is you can tell where you are in life by the level of toilet that you're permitted to use in a building at any point in time, and I feel like this is the school version of that. Basically, what kind of locker storage access did you get?
Yeah, because in our school there was 1,200 of us, so 240 in each year, and there was maybe about 150 lockers across the school.
Oh wow!
And I think that's maximum. I think there might have been less than that, and it was across like the 3 different buildings, and like so everyone was vying for like the best spot to get your locker, so you're not traveling. Like mine was right near the services and near the canteen and library, and so that was like peak. But other people's had it, like,
peak
over in the other side of the room, and I'm like, well, that's pointless for me.
Is this can we shoehorn this as something up for adjudication? Should all schools have enough lockers for every single student?
Oh yeah.
And if they don't, have they failed?
I think so. If you're like, you know, a stressed student, which those two things go hand in hand, and you've got a lot going on, and then you've got to carry all this heavy stuff as well, all around with you all day, that's just going to add to your stress, I think.
It gets worse when you start to pile things on, where it's like, do you have food tech? I did graphics, and I was all right because my form room was opposite the graphics room. So I used to put my folder. It wasn't as big as the art one, but it was still quite big. So I used to put it, but they were literally, you would see people carrying these massive graphics folders the whole day.
Oh, I used to have one for art.
Well, clearly, if you are a school that does not have a locker for every single student, this is you.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
I've brought something to the lawn purposefully because I know that we have 2 Northerners on the show today. It's not just Maddie repping the North. This will sound like it's an opportunity for me to shoehorn in my football club, Manchester United, but I am genuinely curious about both of your opinions as Northerners. We have talked at length, all of us, about the cost of tickets for any event these days, just going up and up and up. And as some people might know, if you are a supporter of a sports team, it doesn't have to be football, you can sometimes get a season ticket, which means that you have that seat for the ever until you decide to stop paying for it. And you just pay for it every single year. It's like, I don't know, loaning out a seat mortgage. And a 76-year-old Manchester United fan has described himself as feeling helpless and hopeless after finding himself among approximately 1,100 fans being displaced to accommodate hospitality guests paying upwards of £300 per match. Tony Riley, whose father-in-law was a player, his father-in-law played for the team once, learned that he must vacate the seat his family has occupied continuously since 1949. The prime positions near the dugout will be converted into corporate seating from next season as part of a revenue-generating measure introduced since Sir Jim Ratcliffe took charge in February 2024. Verdict, please, failure court.
What? Okay, first off, what's a hospitality seat?
It's like for all the there we go.
Companies are paying for, like, for example, like in the like arenas and stuff. You know, you see the little like rooms that are normally in the middle. They're normally held by they're like hospitality rooms because they're bigger and you get food. And they're normally held by like companies who will then use them for like clients and things, or they'll be like sold out for like a lot of money and things.
You can't just take something that someone's paid for and is rightfully theirs and be like, business, you have it. You know, you can't just do that.
The thing is, nowadays, everyone can. It's literally like, it's kind of off topic, but it's not. It's the same sort of thing, but obviously this is free and it's not. Of when, you know, like concert, people give influencers like free tickets and stuff. Obviously it's a different ticket, but it's the whole idea of taking away somebody who really wants to be there.
Right.
Taking away their spot. And that's the same, like, even though influencers did it for free, they're still taking away a possible seat. Like, we all know that when you go to concerts and it says press and stuff, and you see some people who will go and they are really into it and stuff, but then you'll see some press people or some influencers who are just like on their phones taking selfies. It's the same thing that like nowadays people, and obviously like the owners and stuff, it's no longer about the fans. It's like, what can we make the most money out of? What can we get the most exposure out of? And like, that's heartbreaking.
If it's helpful, for £315 per head, corporate guests will receive what the club describes as some of the best seats in the house, alongside a 3-course meal at Gordon Ramsay's Lucky Cat restaurant. Those seeking to impress key business contacts can opt for the £425 premium tier, which includes luxury padded seating, champagne and sommelier selected wines. And that is the reason that poor fan Tom Riley has been turfed out of his seat, a seat that has his name engraved on it.
Engraved?
And that is no longer his.
That's insane.
Did he get compensation?
No, I think they've just been moved to like a completely different seat. But it's like, if your family's been holding that seat since 49, they've passed like that seat down.
But that's the thing, like, no compensation would meet that. Do you know what I mean? They could give me all the money, but it's like, it's not just like, oh, I want to go see the football. Yeah. It's memories, it's a link, it's tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to pass that down to your kid. Yeah.
They pass it on to their kid in, I don't know, 200 years. They can be like, this seat has been ours for that long.
Is this a solid fail, gang?
This hurts my heart, so I'm calling it a fail.
I'm going to give him a hug.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Well, from something very, very sad, in comparison, to something not as sad, but potentially a bit sad, I'm not selling this well.
Oh, no.
Did you know that every single year, the public is able to suggest, what am I doing today? The public is able to suggest names to the Met Office for UK storms. Thousands and thousands usually submit. About 20 are chosen. Let me give you some examples. Elon Gust, Dame Judi Dench, Storm Prince Andrew, 50 Shades of Rain, Keir Starmer, David Blowie, Bruce Springstorm, I do like that one, and Stormy McStormface. Out of the 50,000 suggestions that were submitted for the 2025-26 season, some of the ones chosen include Wubbo, Oscar, Eddie, Chandra, Ruby, and Gerard. Please, court.
No, I am not taking Gerard over David Blowy. Absolutely not. Stormy McStormface, that's amazing. What are these boring names?
Elon
Oscar?
Gust.
Who is Oscar?
Elon
Gust.
Who is Oscar?
That's angered me. Elon Gust is amazing. These are amazing.
If you both had to select a Storm name, what would you both pick?
Oh, like make up one ourselves? Not from the
Yeah,
options.
like if King Charles was like, name a storm for me.
No, because
I'm
not
quite partial for
obviously-
Brian, but I just like the name Brian. I just think the name Brian makes everything funny.
I've
I
always
don't
just,
know why.
I've always just joked because sometimes when I hear it, I think there's the most like standard names. I'm like, why there's like an ethnic name, like Storm Sonal. I always used to joke with this mom. I was like,
Yeah,
well, cool.
we could do that. So Storm Sonal, we've got Storm Brian. What you got, Mads?
I'm trying to think of something witty, but
I mean, nothing beats Stormy McStormface, does it?
I mean,
do
those
love
that you
that.
said, Emmy, they're like the top. You physically cannot beat those.
I think I'm sticking with David Blowy. I
David Blowy.
call him Bowie, but you know, that's a great name.
How are we grading this?
So I think it's still a fail, but I think compared to the others, it's like less of a fail. It's just an annoyance. You know, it's got
Okay.
less kind of emotional. So I'm gonna say we survived, but we're dead. We can survive with a Storm Oscar, like it's fine, but
Okay.
we'd prefer Stormy McStormface.
I would prefer Elon Gust.
Elon Gust.
I love that one. That when you said that, I was like, that's amazing.
Here we go.
Survive, Battleware Dad!
Let's end on something beautiful. I do think the entire world has seen this, but I would love to bring it up again. I want to talk about the 7 dogs that went missing in China that walked 17 kilometers back all the way home. Wait, Sonal, do you not know this?
News to Sonal!
Well, let me read it out to you. A group of 7 dogs that went missing in China have gone viral after a video emerged of them walking back more than 17. What am I doing today? More than 17 kilometers home to their village. Everyone knows I'm on 1 hour's sleep. 17 kilometers home to their village, reuniting with owners who had been searching for them for days. The video, posted online on the 15th of March, shows the golden retriever, a Labrador, a German Shepherd, and a Pekingese, amongst others, walking along the highway in Changchun, the capital of China's northeast Jilin province, where temperatures are dropping below 0 degrees Celsius overnight. Leading the pack is a corgi, later identified in Chinese media as Dapang, or Big Fatty. One volunteer for a local stray dog rescue said she went door knocking in nearby villages and posted missing. I am on 1 hour's sleep, everybody. I'm very sorry. And posted dog flyers for the missing dogs after seeing the video. And of course, they all got back home. And people have been suggesting that maybe we should be making a movie about this real life version of Paw Patrol.
I would watch it.
So I'm crying tears of joy that I'm not actually like sad crying. It's amazing, isn't it?
Oh, like,
And the little corgi leading them.
Like dogs, like pets in general, are the most loyal things. Like they were going through anything to go home, and
You can't make it up. 17
that is
kilometers.
literally not. You can't.
I don't know if I'd even walk that for fun. My God.
No, that's literally.
I think they should. I know we like original stories, but I would watch a film about this, like remaking
think
this. You know,
anything
the
that's
dogs
based
that
around
went
pets.
home.
Anything based around
Yeah,
pets.
I think
Like,
that's
I don't care
okay.
if it's like a retell or something. Like it's just cute, especially if they do if
Yeah.
they get the dogs really well, like casted.
Would you want it animated or would you want it live action? And who voices the dogs?
They could get dogs.
I mean, I
to
wasn't
voice
going to
the
say
dogs.
voiced. We
Get
could
dogs
do.
to voice the dogs.
See, we went in a different direction because I went like Miranda Hart as the corgi, obviously. Do you know what I mean?
That works,
You know,
but
that
actually
would
get
work.
the dogs to play the dogs. But obviously, it's less strenuous on them if it's animated. They just have to stand in a studio and bark.
And then, like, off camera, the people they're walking towards is their actual owners. So
Oh,
this time they can see the end goal as they're recreating it.
oh, that's so cute.
Oh, this is an absolute win.
Absolute win. Are we going
sure.
for win, Gnome Princess?
I'll win by like so much.
Good news. Well, from my humble offerings to the classic Mad News. Maddie, what have you got for us this week?
Okay, I've got similar animal news. A capybara, 9-month-old capybara called Samba, has escaped from a zoo in this very country.
What?
Yeah. So, a 9-month-old capybara is on the loose after escaping from a UK zoo just one day after arriving there. Search crews in Hampshire are on the lookout for the mischievous critter named Samba after she was last spotted near River Itchen. There's been a video that a local walker got with his dog of the capybara jumping into a river and like trying to swim away. So people were saying it's very difficult to get her because capybaras are surprisingly very fast swimmers, and especially if they're in the water, you can't use like a sleep dart to get them because that's dangerous. So
Oh my God.
they're still trying to catch her. But yeah, that's some fun news for you. Capybara on the loose.
In the UK, like if you said, "Oh, it was in Australia" or something, I'd be like, "Yeah, fine," but it's England.
Well, she came from a zoo, yeah. But she's only young. She's only 9 months old.
9 months old?
Samba,
Yeah,
Samba.
she's on a little
9 months?
adventure.
That's great. I love it.
I'm actually quite concerned though, because, you know, I'm not saying the UK is a horrible place, but we're not all green fields. Do you know what I mean?
The way you
I mean,
said
in the
that,
north, there's a
sounds
lot of
like
green fields.
Yeah.
I think
But-
it should
but-
be
but
safe.
it's
Wait, where is Hampshire?
down
I
south.
don't know geography. Is it?
Down south. Okay, right. I'm a bit more worried then. If she was in the north, I think she'd be all
Yeah,
right.
do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Southeast England, near Berkshire, Surrey, and
Oh,
Sussex.
so basically I need to be looking out for this capybara. That's what we're
Get
learning.
out of there, look for the capybara.
What happens is the capybara needs to walk all the way. Where are capybaras from? Like South America?
Yeah, I would think so.
So the ultimate film is the capybara finds a way to walk all the way home.
Maybe she's swimming across the continents. Maybe that's why
Right.
she went into the water.
right
So we
now.
don't want to stop her.
Yeah.
We don't want to stop her.
Yeah.
No, because
Let's
we
leave
need
her
we need the IP at the end to make the movie. Probably voiced by either Timothy Chalamet or
Capybara
Chris
who
Pratt
went home.
at some point.
Oh,
yeah. Oh no,
okay.
it's a she. What's the female equivalent? Jennifer Lawrence,
I mean,
voiced
they
by
could still
Jennifer
be
Lawrence.
voiced by Chris Pratt. Context: there's like the memes about Chris Pratt voicing like anything and everyone.
Everything.
Because he voiced
Everything.
Mario, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
everything.
yeah, that doesn't bar Chris Pratt from voicing, even if she's a female capybara.
Capybara.
I mean, if he could put the voice on, or it could just be because some women have deep voices, some men have high voices. We do not
That's true.
discriminate. You know, there could be a non-binary capybara. You know,
That's true.
We don't.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know how the capybara identifies.
That's true. So actually,
not
it
told
could
us.
be like a Oscar Vane kind of biopic. Like the literal journey is her getting home, but actually the main story is her mental and
Finding out
spiritual
who
journey.
who she is.
Exactly.
As a capybara.
As voiced by Chris Pratt. Well, we know what's coming next.
Oscar nominated.
Maddie, what are you exchanging this week for our listeners to enjoy?
You know, Larry, I've had him by my side this whole time, and I've not used him.
Larry.
So
Hi,
I'm just
Larry.
going to exchange a little weasel guy. don't get a little cartoonish plushie, get a knitted character. Do you guys remember the knitted character from Harry Hill's TV Burp, or is that just something I remember?
Yes. Yes.
I remember that he had one.
The knitted character.
I do remember it.
He is my knitted character. So that's what I'm exchanging.
I feel like, no, I will always say this because every time you ask me on this podcast, I go that nothing will ever be the first podcast I was ever on. And so now every time I'm like, what do I have to say? I don't have anything. That can be
your cute hairstyle.
Your cute hair. What? That's true.
I redyed it. I'm going away next week, and I wanted to go bright pink. However, you know what? When people dye their hair, the hair color is meant to last about 1.5 months. And that's great for me. I'm like, I can change it. But for some reason, I got it done before Christmas, and my hairdresser picked the strongest dye ever. So instead of getting pink, she had to go over the purple. So it's now like purple with like bits of pink in it. And like I'm like, I should be happy because I got like 4 months out of it, but I wanted bright pink. So guys, you need to remember, here's my piece of advice. Don't try anything new if you want to get something brightly colored. Or if you want to be more specific, don't try a new brand of hair dye. Without, like, if you have intentions of you're like, in this amount of time, I want to do something with my hair, stick to a brand you know will wash out. Because what happened was the brand my hairdresser normally uses got discontinued, so she tried a new one. She didn't know how long it was going to last. And even now, it is still running. So that's what I'm throwing in. And that's what I'm throwing into first world problems.
I will throw in Daredevil Season 2. This is going to sound like Disney's telling me to say this, but they're not. But I was lucky enough, thanks to Disney, this is now a very complicated rabbit hole I'm going down, to see all of Season 2 in its entirety. And I both enjoyed it immensely, but the other element of what I'm throwing in is that I have realized that I do just enjoy seeing a relationship on TV where both people are incredibly, incredibly messed up and they both need therapy. And you're like, maybe instead of getting together, just get therapy. I think you should actually both get therapy, but they're both such horrible people that it is also just enjoyable to watch them be messed up together. And no spoilers, I did watch this season and there was a moment where I was like, I'm in it for the two messiest people here. And that is what I'm also
you're so invested in the messiness of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, you both need help, not each other, but also you need each other. Yes, please. Thank you.
It surprised me when you said, because I thought you were going to say, I love watching two people on screen that are absolutely enamored for each other, you know, like a sweet romance story, and then you went off a different.
There is something so delicious about watching two people where you're like, you are just an absolute bag of cats. Like,
does it make you feel better about yourself? I feel better about myself watching people who I think are nutters. I'm like, actually, maybe I'm not as a lost cause as I thought I was.
No, you know what it is? I think it's like an element of like, you're both so like not okay that I want to see if you make each other better or if you make each other worse. Do you know what I mean? Whereas like this could be like you're both like, oh, actually we heal each other, or yeah, literally that, or you match each other's freak and it's just a bit weird. And I'm here for it. So yeah, I think the first episode of Daredevil Season 2 has dropped today in the UK. So the second will be out by the time this comes out. So that's something to look forward to for anyone who's watching the second one. And therefore, we know we're near the end.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to say seek joy in small things. I know that's very generic.
Aww.
I think I had something planned, but it went out of my little brain. So, seek joy.
I'm sorry, the vlogging at that timing. I was like, that's great. Emmy, I might go and steal her. No, One Direction has that song. Steal. Is it Steal Your Girl? I'm gonna say I'm gonna steal your dog.
I will end with hot cross buns. It's hot cross bun season.
You know what?
Get your hot cross buns. This is the only time of the year when hot cross, like limited edition hot cross buns are out. All the limited edition flavors. They do special flavors for just this time of year, And I do not care for hot cross buns at any other time of year, but once a year I will wake up at 7 a.m. to queue up to get limited edition hot cross bun flavors, such as this year, for example, Millionaire's Shortbread hot cross buns, Red Velvet hot cross buns, Tiramisu hot cross buns. Last year I can't remember what there was, but I queued up for that too. You know, this is the time. This is hot cross bun party time.
What fancy Covent Garden place is this? I've never heard of this.
No, mate, it's just M&S. It's just M&S.
Oh, okay. Well, M&S is kind of fancy.
Kind of bougie.
No. Just listen. Wait until they're like, you know, they have the special stickers because they're reduced because it's like the last day. Go in and get it then. You know, it's got £1 or something off. The Red Velvet ones this year are fire. They have like a white chocolate filling inside, so you eat it and it like oozes out, and you know it makes one emotional. It does.
So I usually put butter on my hot cross bun, but I'm guessing you don't want to put butter on these.
But you know what you can put on it? Caramel sauce.
No, but if it's a Red Velvet, you can put cream cheese.
So many flavors.
The cream cheese with the red
cream
velvet.
cheese.
Yeah, because that's what they normally.
That's quite a shout.
Red
actually.
velvet with cream cheese.
Like cheesy cream cheese?
No, it's like a cream cheese frosting,
do you mean
isn't
like
it?
Frosting.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
it's
that's
like a frosting. But yeah, hot cross buns, people. Maddie says seek joy. Sonal's gonna steal your dog, everyone's dog.
Everyone's dog.
Watch out. She will steal everyone's dog. If your dog goes missing and tries to walk 17 kilometers back home, you know who's taken the dog.
Got it. It was Sonal this whole time.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
And get some hot cross buns. Sonal, where can everybody find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on the social media. So I'm on the X at wrestling_chat. I understand X is very hit and miss, but that's where you can find me. You can find me on the Instagram at Sonal's Life 96, and you can find me on YouTube at Sonal's Life if you like wrestling or you just want to listen to my voice more.
It is peak wrestling reporting, everyone. You should go check it out. Well, of course, thank you very much for listening to another episode of Falling Upwards. Thanks to Sonal for being here, and thanks to Maddie for adjudicating and passing judgment on everybody and anybody. What is literally what is happening to me? What is happening? But anyway, we will see you next time. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.